I'm good. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Living life just like I should. Wouldn't change it if I could. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Living life just like I should. Wouldn't change it if I could. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Trying to figure out who I am or who I'm supposed to be. Feel good about where I stand so I can make the most of me. Coming back down from space, a million miles away. There's a lot of love in this place, and I'm just trying to say that I'm good. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Living life just like I should. Wouldn't change it if I could. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Living life just like I should. Wouldn't change it if I could. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Been a long time living this way, worrying about what people say. Feeling like I don't fit in, but I won't give up, no I won't give in. Been looking for something more. What you really looking for? Been with you since you were born, since you were born. You're good. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Living life just like I should. Wouldn't change it if I could. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Living life just like I should. Wouldn't change it if I could. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. You only live once. I'm good with myself. I'm there for my friends until the very end. You only live once. I'm good with myself. I'm there for my friends until the very end. 'Cause I wanna see another love revolution. Find a way to be a better person. If we come together like we should, we could all be good. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Living life just like I should. Wouldn't change it if I could. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Living life just like I should. Wouldn't change it if I could. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good.
Yeah, let's clap. That was good. Michael's good. We're good. It's a good morning. Because today and every day, we have opened wide the doors to the presence of God, knowing that Spirit is in this place and in all places and all people. And just as the sun, which we're starting to see come out, has awakened us to a new day, the Spirit of God within awakens us to divine glory. And this glory within and around us is everywhere we look and in every situation we encounter. With our hearts centered in Spirit, we can quiet our thoughts and meditate on the wonder of all of God's creation and our oneness with it. So I invite you now to take a deep breath, become comfortable, and gently release any cares of the day, because your sole purpose at this moment is to experience the divine. And you begin to do so now as you relax into the sacred time and space at Unity Spiritual Center. Seeing through eyes of oneness, acknowledging our oneness, we at Unity Spiritual Center celebrate and honor people of every culture, of every creed, of every religion, of every race, of every age, and every lifestyle, knowing that there are many paths to God, many faces of God, many names for God, but only one God. And that God is expressing through all people in unique, special, and individual ways. As you look at the flame of the candle that we light every Sunday, remember that you too have a flame within. You have a divine flame. You are a spark of God. You are an individualized expression of God. And we honor the one presence and power of God with Unity's foundation statement, which you'll find on the screen behind me. And I invite you to join with me in saying it aloud together. There is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as my life, God the good, omnipotent. We give thanks for our spiritual community and for the beauty of our spiritual center. We give thanks that Unity Spiritual Center is a welcoming, warm, and inclusive community dedicated to studying and putting into practice empowering principles and tools for happiness, health, prosperity, and successful living. We give thanks that through our spiritual teachings, we can create extraordinary lives and a peaceful planet through our relationships with the loving God presence within each one of us and through our relationships with one another. Our vision and the opportunity for each one of us here is that you discover the power within you to create the life of your dreams, that you have peace of mind and deep happiness, that you enjoy joyous and loving relationships with yourself, with spirit, and with others, that you spend your days doing what you love and feel called to do, and most of all, that you know that your life matters, that you make a difference, and that the world is a better place because you're here. If you're visiting us for the first time, and I know a couple of you are, we'd like to hand out chalets. I know we've gotten low on our stock, so I believe if you didn't receive a chalet, we'll get you one on your next visit here. It has a tag on it that says, just as God has a design for every shell in the sea, God also has a design for your life. We also have information about Unity in general and Unity Spiritual Center in particular. We're so happy that you're here. We pray that you'll feel nourished by your time here today. And please do join us in the hospitality room next door following the service, where we can have a chance to get to know you better. And if you or any of you would ever like to talk about Unity or anything else that's on your mind, please don't hesitate to contact me. My contact information is printed on every printed piece that we put out, and I welcome those conversations, and I'm always happy to have them. So at this time, as we move into the meditative portion of our service and prepare to raise our voices together in song, please do turn off or mute all cell phones and electronic devices if you haven't done that already, and let us sing.
We are going to sing, and we are going to sing loud and clear. We're going to invite a drummer up on the stage, and anybody else that wants to pull anything out of this box, it's the right tune to do this on. And Marcy, I want to make sure I threw the right lyrics up. I think I did. So let's see. What's the next one out of curiosity? Okay, one more. Yes, I did it right. Okay, back it up. We get to sing. Yes, please, dig in the box right here.
Go for it.
You'll find all kinds of fun things to play. Maybe we can entice another drummer. Yeah, so absolutely. Okay, now, come on. You know who I'm looking at. Yep, there we go. Come on. We're going to make a joyful noise, okay? The neighbors haven't complained for at least 6 months. And it's kind of funny. I was playing at a very posh place the other day, and the host comes up to me and says, "The police have been called." And I'm going, "Oh no." She goes, "Oh no, it's the coolest thing ever. Nothing ever happens here." So the neighbors are all going to say, "Wow, there was a wild party at our house? Wow, okay, all right." So we're going to do that here, okay? It sounds like this. 2, 3, 4. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on vision. Sorry. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm singing and swaying with my mind stayed on spirit. Swinging and saying with my mind stayed on spirit. Singing and swaying with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Okay, now this is we're gonna jam for a second. We're just jamming. Come on, guys. Okay, that's it. We're getting into it. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Sing that last part again. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. One more time. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. This is where you have the big rave up. Yeah, that's it. Jazz hands, jazz hands. Thank you, percussionists. Started in the right thing. Thank you. I appreciate that. And now to settle back down.
That was great. We did make a joyful noise. So now as we continue to get comfortable in our seats and relax even more deeply into this time of worship, prayer, and meditation, let us open our hearts to receive the message of today's daily word. We are so delighted to have our wonderful daily word reader, Lakshmi Crawford, back with us. And today's daily word will be read by Lakshmi.
Need my script. Okay. A world of peace begins in me. Everything that is happening in the world around us is an extension of what is happening inside each one of us. Our individual beliefs are part of the collective consciousness of our planet. My own thoughts and feelings create waves of energy that move outward from me. Others feel those feelings and pass them on. My inner conflict contributes to conflict, and my own peace allows peace to grow. Every time I take the opportunity to heal something inside myself, that process allows for healing in the world. With this in mind, I choose to be a channel for peace. I purposefully bring my awareness to the divine energy, allowing it to radiate from me to the outer, allowing for the realization of lasting peace. A world of peace begins in me. So far as it depends on you, live peaceably with all. From Romans 12:18.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Unity Spiritual Center is a center of prayer and healing. As many of you already know, we do have a community prayer box in the back, along with prayer request forms that are printed on green paper. And you're always invited to fill out one of those forms and place it in the box. Right now, why don't we just hold the requests that are in that box, not knowing who's represented or what they're about. Let's just hold them in our hearts and just know for each person that has written something down, that is concerned about something or another person. And let's just know whatever the circumstances are, that each person represented in that prayer box is being surrounded by divine love, and that divine order is taking place in all of their lives. The prayer requests that are placed in that box are prayed on by me and by our USC prayer team for 30 days. And then we forward them to Silent Unity at Unity's World Headquarters, where they're prayed on for an additional 30 days. As I mentioned, we have prayer request forms in the back, printed on green paper, and you're always invited to fill one out. But we also have an opportunity for you to make your prayers audible. And this is the time in our service where you can offer your prayer needs to your spiritual family here, and we will answer each prayer request by singing "Your Prayer is My Prayer Too." So let's sing the introduction to the music, and then please speak your prayer requests aloud.
We are connected by the heart. Where do you end? Where do I start? Whatever you feel, I feel too. You're a part of me, I'm a part of you. Your prayer is my prayer too. 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 Your prayer is my prayer too.
And we also have a time in our service where you're invited to share your blessings, things that you are grateful for, your thanksgivings. This is your time to share those with your spiritual family here. Grateful for you, Phil, that you've blessed our congregation for the time that you've been here, and we just see and know that all kinds of delightful and unexpected blessings are on their way to you now.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
We give thanks for this opportunity to bless and to be blessed in spirit. We give thanks for the feelings of connection, peace, and warmth that fill our hearts and minds right now. We give thanks for the privilege of praying for others in our community, in our state, our nation, in our world. And we affirm that always and in all ways, no matter what appearances are, divine love and divine order is everywhere present. At Unity Spiritual Center, your prayer is our prayer too. And so it is. Amen.
You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged. Oh, I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and darkness inside still makes you feel so small. But I see you true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors are beautiful like a rainbow. Show me a smile then. Don't be unhappy, can't remember when I last saw you laughing. If this world makes you crazy, you've taken all you can bear. You call me up, 'cause you know I'll be there. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors are beautiful like a rainbow. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors are shining through. It's your true colors. That's why I love you. Let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful like a rainbow.
Thank you. Oh, it went on sleep mode. There we go. All right. I asked for that song because I'm about to show you my true colors. You know, I've been playing around with different things, creative ways in which to come together as a body and worship, and have planned that I'm going to do something like this at the end of the month. Some of you who've been here during the summer know that I started with poetry, where we read devotional poetry, poetry that spoke to our souls. And I was going to do that again, and then I thought, I might try something different. I'm going to talk about my paintings, because we've been looking at transformation in the month of August, and I've been transformed by the process. So I'm going to share a little bit about that. As some of you know, perhaps many of you know, I've been enrolled in a year-long painting course that Shiloh Sophia, a woman named Shiloh Sophia, who's a pretty well-known artist in this area, has offered. Shiloh was the teacher of Caitlin Gua, whose paintings are on the wall right now. And Shiloh's paintings are going to go up on the wall this week. So you will get to see her paintings in just a very short time. But I thought this would be helpful because a lot of lessons, I've learned a lot of lessons about transformation. The very first one was, of course, that the process itself is transformational, because it is a teacher training. It's not just a painting course, it's a teacher training. So that at the end of this, I will be certified to teach this process. And I want to say before I show you any of my paintings that this is not about painting as an end. So it's not about the end result at all, but it is about painting as a transformative process, and that's why I thought it would be appropriate to show you this month. So as you'll see, this was not a class about step-by-step how to paint a landscape. There were steps, but they weren't step-by-step, okay, you want your bird to look like this. This was a class about how to paint your inner landscape. This is about painting your true colors, as we just sang. It's been about painting my soul and discovering more about myself and the symbols that are personally significant to me. And how she constructed the course is through 5 archetypes, that we would look at ourselves through the lens of 5 archetypes: legend, muse, artist, alchemist, and visionary. And again, I want to say that this has not been about, and it's not about, whether these paintings are bad or good. I have no idea if they're bad or good. If I had to guess based on what I know about art history, they'd probably fall more in the bad category. But to me, that's not what it's about, and that doesn't matter. What does matter is creating something that expresses what I've received as a meditation or an intuitive understanding, as well as challenging myself to engage in a transformative or meditative practice that is not always easy and certainly not quick. So with that, I'll see if I can talk and swipe at the same time. I'm not sure about that. Let's see here. All right. So that's a painting that I did 40 years ago when I was in my 20s. And I found her again and I pulled her up because she touches me very much. And as you can see in the paragraph, and I'll read parts of it if you can't see it, I pasted that in my class Facebook group. I said, I didn't think I was an artist 40 years ago, but I've always loved art. And I especially love the art of Matisse, so this was an homage to Matisse. And when I look at it, about to turn 60, I'm amazed to see what is reflected in my life right now. My love of sparkle, some of you may have noticed I love sparkle, iridescence, symbol, color. There she was, 40 years ago. And it makes me sad that I didn't continue with that expression for all those years. But I'm grateful now that I'm doing it, and I feel very dedicated to wanting to stay with the process and letting that part of my true colors show. And I show it to you because perhaps there's a painting in your closet, or if it's not a painting, maybe it's a piece of woodworking or a composition you never finished or something else. It's never too late to pull that out of your closet, so I hope that you will feel encouraged to do so. So Shiloh was offering this class. I thought, I think this is the right time to do it. It's the right time to reveal hidden magic with my brush. That was one of Shiloh's slides. So here we go. We started with legend. And the legend is the archetype of what you want to embody. It's kind of like your ideal. Like what are the ways in which you want to show up in the world? So legend transformed me into a painter because literally I'm someone who paints, and that's what a painter is. And before I show you what I did, I'll tell you that the canvas was 30 by 40 inches. Okay, so imagine a yardstick and then add 6 inches to it. It's a big canvas. And I remember when I bought that in the art store, I thought, somebody who paints on a canvas this big must really have something to say. Shiloh had said something along the lines of, doesn't everyone want to be a painter? And I thought about it and I thought, I never really did want to be a painter per se because it always kind of scared me. I can do great things with collage, with prayer beads, with writing, and it's easier for me because there are elements that are in place that all I have to do is figure out how to arrange. But with painting, of course, you're starting with a blank canvas. It's literally white, and it's up to you to place something on it. So I'll show you what I placed on it. We always start with an intention or a prayer. So on the left side was my intention, my prayer. We bless the canvas. It's a very spiritual process. And then she took us into a meditation to find an ally, an animal ally. And I was quite interested and intrigued to find that in my meditation there was a raven, because that was the animal ally of my dear and late teacher, Angelus Arian, Raven. So all of a sudden my teacher appeared to me. Then we went through a process of processing and integration. So the white marks that you see on the left were, she gave us a particular assignment, but there were ways in which I was processing something not particularly happy that I had experienced in my life. But then came the process of integration, where you bring it together through the use of beautiful color that you love. Then she always works with this idea of a portal. So the idea of the painting as a portal to an inner state, a divine state, something that's never been seen before. So here you can see I painted the portal, turned it on the side, and then turned it right back side up, and the face began to appear. And you'll see the continuation, and there's the raven on my shoulder. And then I thought, it might be kind of interesting to give her a headdress with horns. And then I thought, I really hate those horns. I don't want her to have horns. And so I started to erase the horns with blue paint. And that's something that's taught me about transformation is, you're not stuck with what you got. You can always transform it. So different symbols along the way began to appear for me. Some I was familiar with, like the sunflower has always been a symbol of creativity for me. Some I wasn't. But you can see her beginning to really take place. And that was the final painting. As I said, 30 by 40. Because it was our legend, we were invited to take a picture of ourselves with it. And before I do that, this is what legend is about. One night when you were just a star, someone hung every hope, every wish, every dream they ever had from your limbs. So if you ever feel inferior, ever start to doubt your beauty or brilliance, just remember, you have constellations lining the cathedral walls of your chest, a moon for a heart, and the sunlight pouring through your skin. You are a symphony of stardust, and you were born to shine. So that's me, shining with my legend. The next one was Muse. And I should say that lessons, because I did construct this as lessons. Legend is be willing to become something you don't think you are. The lesson with Muse was sometimes mistakes contribute to the transformation. So I actually did this on site at Shiloh's. And I want to say that for me, it's painting. For you, it might be something else. And as Osho, the spiritual teacher Osho said, when I say be creative, I don't mean that you should all go and become great painters and poets, great poets. I simply mean let your life be a painting. Let your life be a poem. So we started with the intention. Again, this was on site at Shiloh's. Started with the figure, color blocking, starting to get color on the left, way too busy. I should say in my meditation, it was very clear the shapes that I wanted. I wanted the download, the divine download, and I wanted flowers. I just saw flowers in my meditation. But the one on the left is too busy, so I started to kind of soften it with a background color of green. This is where I stopped at the point I left the weekend. That's where she was. She had more work to go. And that's where she pretty much ended up. You can see on the left, I was thinking about painting all the flowers, and then I thought, oh, I don't know. I kind of want to do something different, like with mixed media. So I had so much fun finding these beautiful silk flowers and little bits of jewelry and added them to her. But something I want to show you about I will stop to say I had fun embellishing her. Like, what is she going to wear on her third eye? She had a nose piercing. So my muse made me do it. But here's the completed poem, or the completed painting. And as you can see, the word open is there. That was part of my original intention. And I kept looking at that word, and of course I could have painted over it, but there was something about it that I thought really added to the painting, so I left it. So that's why the muse for me indicates that sometimes mistakes can contribute to the transformation. The next one was my artist. Henry Miller said, whoever uses the spirit in him creatively is an artist. But to make living itself an art, that is the goal. So my artist is huge. It's 24 by 48, a really big canvas. And I love this quote. For me, this really represents a lot of my passion and my belief that the artist prays by creating. So again, the intention, again, the portal. We worked with 9 keys. It was a 9-key process. Painted the key, the wash, the glaze, which is always scary because you put a lot of color on the paint. But then a figure emerges. And you can see part of her is coming out of the portal, the original portal. Color blocking, color. So on the left, I thought she was kind of cool. She had lavender hair, and I was really thinking about leaving it that way. But then the idea of a veil, a devotional veil, was brought forward. So I had a lot of fun trying to paint a veil, and her headdress changed. You can see maybe where you are that there are scraps of paper where there are personal messages to myself. Then I had the idea to actually add keys because we were talking about a 9-key process. Now here's a place where, again, mistakes kind of added to the transformation because there are 9 keys. In order to divide the headdress symmetrically, it has to be 4 and 4. And so I realized that, I'm missing a key. But then I had already created this channel for the divine to work through. And there are little pearls coming down, and I wrote the word declaration. That was the key of declaration that I chose to put there, and that's what this painting was all about. I'll tell you a quick story. As you can see, she has a key around her neck. I was working on this at the time that I went to Paris, and I really wanted to find a little key necklace. It just was very meaningful to me, this idea of a key. Scott had us on this incredible schedule, so we did not do a whole lot of shopping. We were like museums and subways, and we saw museum gift shops, but I did not see a lot of jewelry. When we went to a market, Rue Claire, I think it is, I turned a corner and there was a little tiny jewelry store. And she didn't speak English. I don't speak much French, but I did remember the word clay. Key, C-L-E, clay. So I said, clay, clay? And sure enough, she brought out this tiny little key necklace. Now, what are the odds of that? It was amazing. So I have my beautiful little key necklace from Paris to remind me of being an artist. And there is the completed one, kind of at a tilt, because it's on the floor. It's so big. The job of the artist is always to deepen the mystery. Isn't that a lovely quote? Then came Alchemist. For me, Alchemist is about trusting your own instincts. Trust your own ways of doing things, because that's how you know you're being transformed. If you're doing what somebody else is telling you to do, you're not really being transformed, are you? And that's what Alchemist taught me. So with this painting, Shiloh was demonstrating a more graphic process than before, but she also encouraged us to follow our own style. So the Alchemist is about magic. The Alchemist is about changing lead to gold. The Alchemist is about powerful transformation. So I love this quote because it aligns with Unity teachings. If you think you are limited, you will be limited. If you believe you are magical, your life will be magical. Totally Unity. This started a little bit different because Shiloh wanted to give us a map of consciousness. We were working with this idea of how do we access information, subconscious, divine understanding, left brain, right brain. So it started more with a graphic than an intention, but that's always what the assignment was to look at that while we were painting. So then comes the form. On the right-hand side, you can see a little bit of writing. We did something interesting. The alchemist uses fire to transform lead to gold. And Shiloh had us write our intention in wax. We were to burn a candle, dip it in wax, and then write our intention. Later, I saw these little bumps on my canvas. I could not figure out how did it get those bumps, and I realized it was the wax that I used to write my intention. Then with this big fireball. But then we put a glaze on it, and look how interesting it is. Once the glaze was wiped off, then the figure started to emerge again, and you can't see much of the fire, but it was there. And this is how she started to evolve, symbols that came to me from a meditation. Consciously, I thought, I haven't painted a blonde before. That might be kind of interesting. So I started her with blonde hair. But then I got to this point, and I'm like, I really hate this. I hate this. This does not look like an alchemist to me. And I don't know if any of you were in here when I made the comment during a lesson that I was stuck at a point in a painting where I didn't know how to fix it. This is that painting, and this is where I was. It was like, yuck. I knew I was kind of playing with the idea of her face shape as a heart to mirror the heart. But I just thought, this is way too pretty, it's way too flat, it's way too motionless to be an alchemist. So it was like, how can I fix this? So I decided to pour paint on her. So the left side of the face, as you can see, I had to work to darken and darken and darken. And then I decided to make that side of the face the cosmos. Then I was kind of excited. I thought, that's kind of cool. And then I gave her red hair, and that was even cooler, right? And then I gave her red lipstick, and then she was transformed. She had changed a lot from where she was, and at that point, I really started loving her. Then the symbols started emerging. You can see the phoenix on the left-hand side, and then how it started to kind of transform on the right-hand side. The hand that you see, there had been a hand in my original meditation, but I I love research, as you may have noticed. I love to research things. So I started researching alchemical symbols, and I found this hand. It's called the Hand of Mysteries, or the Hand of Transformation. And there's a lantern and a star and a sun, these different symbols for each finger that represent light. And I thought, oh, that is so cool. So this was where I broke from Shiloh, because she wanted us to be very graphic. She wanted us to be very graphic, be relatively monochromatic, and I didn't want to do that. I loved finding out about alchemical symbols, and I actually found the alchemical symbols for the elements, and they're painted onto her collar, and then I included 2 others in her pearl necklace, and this was me. And this was my alchemist, and I realized that that's always going to be part of my painting, probably, because I love research and I love symbols, and that will always probably be part of my paintings. So you can see more evolution. There's the phoenix finally coming, added that flame in her heart. The star, that's the wings around her head, and the eye, that's the eye of God. That's the divine at work. And so this was the final painting. And as someone had asked me about, they had seen me post on Facebook about the feather earrings that my daughter's boyfriend had given me, which was so nice. And I chose to include feather earrings. It was just part of my experience at the time, and they just seemed right on her. So that was my alchemist. So the last painting is one that's still in process. Wonderful quote about the world is made up of colors. It's made up of colors like azure and coral and emerald and marigold. We always paint ourselves into beige boxes, don't we? And this person, it's an anonymous quote, I don't know who said it, says, don't do that to yourself. Paint your personality a million different colors and leave them unsure of how to handle the magic that you are. So visionary. This is a painting I started on Thursday. Vision is the true creative rhythm, kind of an interesting idea to associate vision and creativity. Thursday, this was a live stream. There were people who were on site at Shiloh's. I wasn't. I did this by watching on my computer a live stream. So again, we start with the intention. We add a portal. This was a meditation about our work in the world, who we want to bring it to. We want it to be sustainable for the earth. We want it to be from a place of love. Then we add the glaze to integrate it. And again, Shiloh was really encouraging us to do a graphic style. So I started doing that because when I did the meditation, I had this immediate vision, painting my visionary, of a tree coming out of a forehead. Shiloh made reference to the tree of knowledge, and this is a exploration of right brain, left brain thinking. So most people in the classroom this weekend were actually working with these shapes, the swirly ones for the right brain, the more geometric for the left brain, but I'd had this really important vision of the tree, and so I rebelled. I didn't want to just do the graphic style. And she showed up pretty quickly. I mean, really surprised me. There was just this face. So on the left, I'm intrigued. Here's a woman who's coming out. She's bald. I'm not sure I like that. And then it struck me that, these shapes really look like hair. So I started playing with that. Then the glaze, and I'm showing you the picture of the glaze because that's part of the process, and it's always a scary process because you pour the color of your choosing onto the canvas, and it looks like you've ruined it, and you think, oh man, what did I do? But then you wipe it off, and you find out that the color residue unifies all the colors that you used in a really interesting way. So it's a process of integration, and that's why we glazed. And that's what I wanted to show you, because now her skin wasn't so chalky pink. It had a purple cast to it. And that's where she is right now on my easel. So the transformation of my visionary is to be continued, and my transformation is to be continued. So you can see there's many learnings along the way, many spiritual learnings, because this is a spiritual process, as much as it's a creative one. It's a creative one in service of the spiritual. And if you didn't quite pick them up when I was showing you my paintings, some of the spiritual lessons have been there are no mistakes. Even when you think you've ruined it, you haven't ruined it. The transformation is a process, that everything can be corrected, and if it can't be corrected, it can be repurposed or used in some way. And above all, that magic happens. I get surprised every time I paint. It never looks like what I thought it would. It surprises me, and I develop relationships with these paintings. I love each one of these women. So I want to end with this. This is how Shiloh sees painting. This is the training I'm doing. A direct process of transformation. It's to alchemize action, pleasure, awaken consciousness, pray and meditate, move energy, process pain, access intuition, invite the muse, journey into the mystery, praise, peace and possibility, to create new worlds, to inquiry for insight, as personal medicine. Painting has been all of these things for me. I was created to create, and so are you. So are you created to create. We were created by a creator to create. So if painting's not your thing, find out what is. It is so amazing, both as a personal transformative process and as a way of connecting with the divine, as connecting directly with your source. We went to the Mary Poppins sing-along at the Castro Theater, and I saw this. Scott and Chloe were wondering, why am I taking a picture? I took a picture of this. Transformation is not a future event, but a present-day habit. So as we wrap up our look at transformation this month, remember that. It's not something that just happens, right? It's something that is a process. And in order for that transformation to occur, you need to do something different every day. Wayne Dyer said that transformation literally means going beyond your form. Going beyond your form, doing something different. And this unity reminds us in this wonderful slide, creativity is our natural state of being. And we always, always are immersed in endless possibilities. So what transformation are you claiming? I invite you to claim it today. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the privilege of being able to share that part of my experience with you. I was all ready to sit down, but it's not time to do that. So as Valerie turns down the lights, I just want to end with a prayer. So I'll invite you now to lean back against your seat and just feel held. And just anchor that feeling in your body. Remember that you're always held by the divine. You are always held. And I'm going to take a few slow, deep breaths. But just relax. Just completely relax into this time and space. And I thought what I would do, instead of leading you through a guided meditation, there may be times for that, But I found this prayer that I really loved and that seemed appropriate, so I'm going to read it to you and just sit with the words as I read them aloud. It's by Julia Cameron, who many of you are familiar with. She wrote The Artist's Way. And this is called the Artist's Prayer. O great Creator, we are gathered together in your name, that we may be of greater service to you and to our fellows. We offer ourselves to you as instruments. We open ourselves to your creativity in our lives. We surrender to you our old ideas. We welcome your new and more expansive ideas. We trust that you will lead us. We trust that it is safe to follow you. We know that you created us and that creativity is your nature and our own. We ask you to unfold our lives according to your plan, not our low self-worth. Help us to believe that it is not too late and that we are not too small or too flawed to be healed by you and through each other and made whole. Help us to love one another, to nurture each other's unfolding, to encourage each other's growth and understand each other's fears. Help us to know that we are not alone, that we are loved and lovable. Help us to create as an act of worship to you. And so it is. Amen. Unity offers positive, practical, progressive spiritual teachings and tools that honor the universal truth in all religions and respects each individual's right to choose a spiritual path. And here at Unity Spiritual Center, we have an inspiring vision, an exciting mission, and compelling values by which we strive to live, and I invite you to join with me in saying them aloud together. Our vision is centered in God. We co-create a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. Our mission is we are a creative, joy-filled spiritual community dedicated to healing, inspiring, and transforming the lives of all people through prayer, education, and love. And our values are, we are spirit-led, generous with resources, inclusive, joyously creative, and guided by integrity. And in this space, feeling inspired, hopefully, by what we've heard today, feeling inspired by our vision, mission, and values, feeling enriched by our community and what we're about to experience in community, let us take time now to be a channel for enrichment through our generous tithes and love offerings. Practicing the principle of tithing ourselves, as a community, we will be tithing 10% of the offering collected today to Unity Online Radio and the West Central region of Unity churches. So let's take a moment now to bless our tithes and love offerings, holding them in our hands or next to our hearts as we say our offertory prayer. divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
Crafting treasures, making a memory, giving a gift of love. Lose yourself in imagination. This is what life's made of. Choosing colors, changing your mind again, create a one of a kind. Spirit guide you through the process, perfectly designed. Shining metal and a pebble from a trip when I was 5. Faces laughing in a photo booth, some I recognize. A mobile cut from painted walnuts and a ring from '69. Notes from class past in secrecy, none of them I signed. We're crafting treasures, making a memory, giving a gift of love. Lose yourself in imagination. This is what life's made of. Choosing colors, changing your mind again, create a one of a kind. Spirit guides you through the process, perfectly designed. A tree limb hangs across the ceiling, concert tickets with a name. Drawers full of miscellaneous important at the time. Cardboard cutouts left out for a certain forager to find. Bits of fabric and an old cologne linger on my mind. Someone's trash could be someone's treasure, repurposed into art. Find the flash of inspiration residing in your heart. Crafting treasures, making a memory, giving a gift of love. Lose yourself in imagination. This is what life's made of. And we're choosing colors, changing your mind again, create a one of a kind. Spirit guide you through the process, perfectly designed.
Speaking of creativity, we are so blessed by the weekly creativity that Michael Hatfield gives us through original compositions and his music. I'm going to quickly give you some announcements. The book sale is continuing through today, but today is the last day. So as you may have noticed, there are some really incredible deals brand new books in some cases, books that cost a lot more than $1. But everything is being offered for only $1. So please do take one last look at what's available on those tables. They will be packed up this week. Leave your dollars in the basket that's on the table, and do enjoy adding to your library because there's some wonderful books there. I am teaching a creativity workshop at 1:45. It might start a little bit later, 5 or 10 minutes later. It's going to be upstairs in our brand new art attic. This is going to be a workshop that looks at what are our personal gifts. It's titled, What is in Your Medicine Basket? So we're going to be looking at what we have to offer and bring the world. It's $35. No prior art experience is necessary, and I do hope you'll join us for that if you would like. Again, that's today, 12:45 upstairs. Next week I will be gone, but you are going to be in the great hands of Jerry Bragg, who will be speaking next week. And then the following week is our Homecoming Sunday. So this is the day when we sort of officially come back. It's the start of the fall season. We will have our town hall meeting on September 9th, which is the date of the following Sunday. And the birdhouses are going to be due. So if you wanted to be part of our communal art event and you took a birdhouse, we actually got a completed entry. I want to show it to you. This was done by a woman named Barbara, and I just want to show you how cute this is. This was the birdhouse that everybody had to embellish as they, desired. She got a separate little house, and she made it into a church. So we have our birdhouse community along with our church community, and I thought that was so cute and creative. September 9th is when we're hoping all of these will come back our way. And if you'd like to use our new art attic or bring it in on a Thursday when we have open hours for creativity, please consider doing that. And I think that's all. So we'll bring in the kids.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Yes, sir. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
If it's okay, I just want to tell you we have a first timer in our audience today. Monique, I hope it's okay that I tell them that you came. This is Monique, and she used to come here for Children's Church when Ethel Higgins, who founded our church, was the minister. So you have a part of our history that most of us don't have, and we are so delighted you're here, and we welcome you, Monique.
Appreciate you, and we behold the presence of God in you, empowering you to do great things. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Mighty God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is.